So for problem 1, we have to determine the moment of inertia Ix and Iy with respect to its centroidal axis. So the section is given. We have here 4 200 by 100 by 13 angle. We have this with a short leg connected to a web plate. We have this as a web plate and a 2 flange. So we have here the flanges, each 460 by 60. Okay, so the given properties of angle, we also have here the given, so the longer length and the shorter length. Okay, so this is the 71.7, that is the y, and for x we have 21.7. We have here the x. If this is the orientation of our angle, so we have here the longer and we have here the shorter. However, in our section, our longer length is connected to the flange and our shorter leg is connected to the web. So your 21.7 is this distance. That is the x distance. And this distance from the centroid, okay, is 71.7. So we have here the centroid of the angle. Okay, so this is 71.7 and this distance is 21.7. Okay, so for the centroid of the flange, so we have a rectangular flange, we have here the centroid. Okay, centroid of the flange. And for the centroid of the web, okay, we have that as our centroid of the web. The centroid of the overall section, since this is symmetrical, the upper and the lower is symmetrical, and the right portion and left is also symmetrical, our center of gravity or our centroid in our whole section is located here. Okay, so say our centroid for the whole section is located here. Okay, so finding the distances, solving for the distances. If this is 360, this is 360. Half of 360 is 180. Okay, and from the centroid of the angle to the centroid of the whole section, if that is 180, this is 21.7, the distance is 180 minus 21.7. Okay, that is the distance of the centroid of the 4 angles from the XO axis. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and since symmetrical, distances from up and down times 4. Okay, angle is multiplied by 4. Okay, and then the centroid of the flange from our whole section center of gravity is equal to 210. That is 180 plus, okay, so yung flange natin is 60. So half of 60 is 30. So 180 plus 30, that is 210. So the distance here is 210. Okay, and the distance of the centroid of our web to our centroidal axis is 0. Okay, 0. Since parehas sila, nandito yung centroid. Okay, so solving for the moment of inertia, Ix, that is equal to, we start with the flanges. Okay, so we have 2 flanges. Okay? So 2, since symmetrical sa up and then sa bottom, symmetrical, times 2 natin siya. Okay? Times B is 460 times H, 60 to the cube over 12. Plus, since hindi yung centroid ng flange is 210 at a distance of 210 from the center of the whole section, we have to transfer our flange. So, to transfer that, we have AD squared. Okay, so the area of the flange, that is 460 times 60. That is the area times the distance. Okay, so distance of the centroid of the flange from the centroidal axis of the whole section, that is 210. So 210 squared. Okay, so this is for the flange. Okay, plus for the web. So we have BH cubed, so we have 20. Remember, this is IX, 20. Okay, 350 cube over 12 plus the area of the web. Transfer natin siya. Distance is 0 squared. That is for the web. And for the angles. So angles plus 4. We have 4 angles. Okay. So given since the property of angle IX, if our angle is oriented in this manner, we have IX. Okay. And since our angle is 90 degree, it's rotated. Okay. So the longer is connected to the flange. Our IY now will become our IX. So that is 2.72 times 10 raised to 6 plus the area. Ita-transfer natin siya kasi yung centroid natin have a distance of 180 minus 21.7 doon sa ating whole centroidal centroid of the whole section. So we have area 3730 times the distance, that is 180 minus 21.7 squared. Do not forget to square the distance. Okay? This is for the 4 angles. So calculating our moment of inertia with respect to x, centroidal x-axis, this is equal to 2907.1 times 10 raised to 6 mm to the 4. Okay? And for the value of IY with respect to IY, okay? So let's start with the flange. That is 2 times 60 times 460 cube over 12. Okay? Since yung centroid nung flange coincides doon sa ating centroid of the whole section, 0 yung distance natin. So, hindi natin siya itra-transfer. Okay? So, wala tayong transfer formula here. Plus, for the web. So, we have 350, 20 cube over 12. Okay? Hindi din natin itra-transfer ito since yung centroid ng web coincides doon sa centroid ng whole section. Okay? So, for the 4 angle plus 4 times 15.6, that is given, properties raised to 6 plus Okay? I-transfer natin siya. So, ano yung magiging distance natin? Okay? So, yung distance natin dito is 71.1 plus yung distance natin dito which is 10. So, we have the area of one flange times 10 plus 71.7 squared. That is the distance of the centroid of one angle from the centroid of the whole section. This one, 10 plus 71.6. So, the value of our IY is equal to 1135.6 times 10 raised to 6 mm to the fourth. Okay, so we have now our answer, IX 290.7.1 raised to 6 mm to the fourth. And for our IY, we have 1135.6 times 10 raised to 6 mm to the fourth. Okay, so that's for the problem number 1.